You're listening to Grito Podcast Network, celebrating the culture of Chicanos and Latinos one story and voice at a time. Listen to more Grito Podcast Network shows over at mygrito.net. Connect on social, on Instagram and Facebook at Grito, the Grito Podcast Network.
¿Qué pedo, pinches desmadrosos?
Orale, Oscar here from My Grito, and welcome to episode 6 of the My Grito podcast. We're hoping that so far you've had an opportunity to view a lot of these interviews, that you like them. If you do like them, I want to remind you, porfis, make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel. Not only that, but also understand that we are My Grito Industries. We represent several musicians, several artists, as well as a podcast network. Feel free to go to our website, mygrito.net, if you want to find out who's on the label, as well as go to our social media, and you'll see a lot of the things that we've been doing there. So, porfis, make sure that you go to YouTube or Spotify, like and subscribe to the My Grito podcast episode. Not only that, but also the podcast that we represent. As an example, we have Chicano Shuffle, we have Emo Brown, we have West Coast Pop Lock Podcast, we have Mind Buzz con mi compa Gil. Gil, say what's up, please. Let me hear that energy.
Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing? It's Gil from the Mind Buzz and My Grito Podcast Network.
Ay, güey, se me paró. Don't ask me to stand up. That sounded pretty good.
Cool.
You've been practicing.
I've been practicing.
Looking at yourself in the mirror, practicing.
Yeah, of course.
Listening to wild horses while you're... No? No?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe not. So we do have the Mind Buzz on as well. And also, this show couldn't be possible, of course, without Mind Buzz Media, which is a company that Gil runs. Gil, tell us a little bit about your company.
Mind Buzz Media is an on-site and off-site podcast production company. If you have a podcast, or if you're looking to elevate your podcast, or if you want to create a podcast, just hit us up at mindbuzz.org.
Excellent.
There you go.
And also, the newest person that joined My Grito, we also have Tragos Amargos with comedian Jerry Garcia. You probably saw his interview, which was episode number 4. You want to make sure that you do check it out. Season 2 has started. It started on April 8th. Last week, they went ahead and featured Bronco, for all of you that were around in the 90s and 2000s. As a matter of fact, I'm drinking Modelo Oro right now. If you know the lyrics, let me hear you sing it. Oro, tú me has cambiado por... No? Oh, sorry. Well, as you could tell, I sing just like Jerry, like shit. So, first episode was Bronco. This week is actually Banda Machos. So again, if you were in the 90s, if you like La Quebradita, if you were around working at the Swami like myself, then you probably have Sangre de Indio and you probably know who Banda Machos is. And if you don't, make sure that you listen to Tragos Amargos and you'll get a little bit of a history of who Banda Machos is and so forth. So also, we want to go ahead and thank our sponsors for today. First of all, we have House of Chingazos. House of Chingazos is a clothing brand owned by a Latino that has a lot of great shirts, clothing, beanies, jackets for men, women, and for children. There are a lot of cool sayings on those shirts. It's a great conversation starter. I know Gil and I, we own a lot of House of Chingazos shirts ourselves. So you want to go to their Instagram and check them out, houseofchingazos.com. When you do a checkout on the discount code, if you type in My Grito, you'll be able to benefit from a good discount. So make sure you do that. And of course, we also have our homeboys from Firme Mezcal. This is a great company that is also Latino owned and operated out of Oaxaca. The owner, Alberto, he is here in California. He actually owns a restaurant in Fullerton. So if you happen to find yourself in Fullerton, La Revelación, great restaurant, great food, great drinks, and they have a nightclub there. So you also want to check that out. So gracias to Firme Mezcal for being a sponsor. Now, I would like to go ahead and introduce our guest. I'm very excited about this guest, and hopefully, if you are watching the show on YouTube, then you probably already saw or got a hint of who I am featuring today. So we're talking about El Carnal, who's been doing this for several years now. We're very excited about having him here today. but we also have some exciting news that we're going to be sharing later on in the interview. So if you guys can help me welcome Christopher Alcaraz from Desmadre y Medio.
Yeah. Woo. Qué pedo, pinches desmadrosos.
Fuck, Chris, I always love your energy.
Thanks, bro.
On social media, on videos, when you're interviewing bands, you always fucking bring it. I fucking love it, man.
Thanks, dude. Appreciate
¿A
it.
dónde te dan la energía para hacer todo eso?
Es que me tienen encerrado, güey. So every time I come out, I go all out, you know? Nah, no te creas. Nah, I don't know. I love being in the spotlight. I love being part of the show and stuff, you know? So, and I love bringing that energy, and people feed off of it, and I feed off of what they have to bring to the table and shit, you know? So, yeah. Por eso, así desafados. Simón.
Órale. Pues, I'm very grateful that you're my guest today.
Thanks, man.
I want to really take the opportunity para que any of our listeners get more familiar with what Desmadre Medio is.
Órale,
Because
okay.
the more that I was checking you guys out, the more that in my opinion, this is a brand de puro pinche amor.
Yeah.
It's founded on love. And the reason I say that, Chris, is because when I see what you're doing for the underground, what you're doing for the ska scene, what you're doing or how you started by posting just flyers of different shows on your Instagram, that's puro love, bro, because you're not getting compensated for stuff like that.
Simón.
At least not in the beginning. Later on, you started making some feria. And later on, you're going to be making more feria. We'll tell people why. ¿Verdad?
Simón. Hey, yeah.
But you started in 2020, no?
Yeah,
Con Desmadre Medio?
2020. Just a little after like the pandemic, right? Like, so it all started because my wife Ash, So okay. Let me retract a little bit. So I'm self-employed, right? I have my own sign business. So I'm a licensed contractor here in the state of California, and then I sell signs and I go and install them and stuff like that. And then for a while, I was just like, I got stuck on social media. I was just scrolling on my phone and shit, right? And then Ash is like, hey, you gotta do something, yo. You gotta put your phone away, or I don't know, like focus. You gotta focus. I'm like, all right, I'll just open up an account. And then it'll be just for like the flyers, so we could go to shows or like art shows or whatever, graffiti shows, right?
So let me make sure I understand this, Chris. Ash was telling you that you got to put your phone away.
Yeah.
Because you got to be doing something.
Exactly.
So your solution is to bring your phone back out and post more flyers of different shows.
Well, hold on.
A ver, tú dime.
y luego después de ahí, pues, I created an account, right?
Simón.
And I'm like, I'm just gonna call it Desmadre y Medio because it's a phrase, it's un dicho lo que sea. Oh, Simón, esa madre no, fue un pinche desmadre y medio y Simón, es un dicho, ¿no?
Sí.
Y luego me dice, no, so I had it just inactive, no picture, no profile pic, nothing at all. It was blank, dude, for about a year or so. And then the pandemic happened, so nothing was happening. And then in 2020, summer 2020, I started sharing like flyers. I'm like, I'm just gonna share. Oh, I shared a skate video. I'm gonna share a skateboarding video. Oh shit, I'm gonna share a graffiti piece. I'm gonna check out this ska scene again. So I shared a flyer. I don't know what it was. I guess it was at the Bricks or some shit. And I remember it was Gabriela Penca, I think Rascahuele. I don't even remember, dude. It was a dope flyer. But then I started posting more because I noticed that people were sharing it. Bands were sharing it. I'm like, oh, shit, this is pretty cool, you know? Y ya la empecé a compartir y todo eso. And then it started gaining traction. I'm like, oh, I want a logo for Desmadre y Medio, you know? So, I mean, the shirt that you're wearing, that's pretty much our only logo. And then we have DXM. Simon, I got on the iPad, fucking drew it, and then that was it. Official Desmadre y Medio logo. Y de ahí, I'm like, I'm gonna take out some merch and I'm gonna do giveaways. I'm gonna give it away out in Scotland. So we went and I was like, all right, free merch. We started like announcing it and people started reacting to it. You know, mames. So we showed up to the Scotland and we started giving them shirts, and I had pins, shirts, and shirts. I mean, pins, stickers, and shirts. And mames, it was cool because I was fucking nervous, bro. No mames, I was fucking like nervous. I just went up to some random fool. Hey, you want a shirt? He's like,
you got to take that one off first in front of me.
He's like, well, what is it? What is it? I'm like, it's my brand, fool. You want it or not? And he's like, yeah. And then he took a picture. We took pictures of everybody that we gave shirts to, and then we started like recording people in the pit with the shirts on and stuff like that. So it was dope. It was definitely the beginning of something big, something that I mean, at least big for us. And then someone saw us right there, right? And she was doing her thesis on ska shows or the underground life in LA. And then she saw us, she took pictures of us, and she interviewed us right there and then too. And then she took out an article about it. I was like, what the fuck,
yeah.
dude? Yeah, so it was dope, dude. It was dope. So de nada hasta aquí estamos, you know? Yeah, so it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun. It has opened a lot of doors for us, as we have met a lot of great people, you know. So it's been good.
Me gusta un chingo.
Gracias,
So
man.
I like como comenzaste Desmadre y Medio by the social media account,
Yeah.
posting flyers, supporting other people, not supporting your thing. It was supporting other people, and then bands and fans were resharing your post. And then from you sharing stuff from art, graffiti, skateboarding, ska, y luego the clothing. Pero what we haven't talked about yet is then you started doing events.
Yeah.
Pero no nomás aquí en Califas, you were also going to Mexico City, no?
Yeah, Simon. Okay, so when was it? Fucking 2021 was it? I don't remember. Yeah, 2021. And in April we threw our first show. It was called Pachingon, right? It was Pachingon. Headliner was Rascahuele, and then I had a couple cumbia bands in there and stuff. So it was cool. It was cool. And then it was at the it was known as Lucky Ducks, and then they changed it to the Black and Gold Bar.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was dope because we put in like I hired my my designer from TJ Tijuana. Shout out to fucking Inquilino Studios. He's from TJ, and he does all the design work for the flyers and stuff that we've done for all the shows. And yeah, dude. So he got down with that design, and then it was crazy because I like to do a lot of promotion. If I'm gonna have a show, I go and interview the bands, and I do lives with them and this and that. Give them the spotlight and that they deserve, you know. Because if it wasn't for the bands, if it's not for the bands, like we don't have scenes, you know.
Simon.
So okay, and then it was dope because we put in a lot of work, and then staff started coming out to the back, right? Because we had the show in the back patio. And he's like, what the fuck, dude? I never seen it this full. I never seen it packed like this before. And I was like, hell yeah, that was a victory in itself, you know? And it was fun. It was a lot of fun, dude. Definitely a learning experience because it was my first show throwing it here after like a decade or so of not doing anything like that, anything creative. And then
and that show was in Mexico City or
no, that was here in Cali. And then the next day, I went to a show at the what's it called? ¿Cómo se llama esa cervecería, güey?
Border X.
Border X. Yeah. Oh, and then yeah, you were throwing the show right there, fool. Remember how we met?
Oh, fuck. Okay, pues despensa to you, Chris, porque it was so my Grito, we were doing a show at Border X in the city of Bell. And we had on that one, I think we had Matamosca with the Steadians.
No, it was Calaveras from Arizona.
Las Calacas.
Yeah,
so we had Las Calacas there performing. We brought them from Arizona. We were pretty excited about that show. And shout out to David Favela. He has Border X in San Diego. Mm-hmm. I believe the one in Bell is now Beer Thug Brewing, I believe.
Yeah.
But in Bell, he was a carnal that really believed in us and what we were trying to do with My Grito Industries. Mm-hmm. So he gave us the opportunity to do events there. And one of the shows was where we met you, was Las Calacas. And la chingadera allí es que right before, an hour before we started, the show actually started, and it was a ticketed event. Mm-hmm. And this was a brewery, so people were just walking in como sea. Mm-hmm. There was already people there when we were setting up, where it's how I first met you. And I remember going up to your table, con todo respeto, hey guys, are you guys here for the show? No, what show? Y dije, no, las calacas y todo el pedo. And nah, we're going to leave. And I'm like, no, you guys don't have to leave. Pero if you guys want to stay, it's $15 or $10. Lo que sea que era, ¿no? Cobrándolos. And then I remember, correct me if I'm wrong, bro. Fact check. And then I remember you came up to me and he's all, hey man, my name is Chris. I'm from Desmadre Medio. And I'm like, cool.
Cool.
Because I didn't even know you back then. I'm like, all right. Are you going to stay? $10. Y dice, no, y te fuiste. Yeah. And later on, when I started researching Desmadre Medio, I was like, fuck, this guy's a down-ass fool. I should have gave him $10 to stay. No, cállate, stay. Is that kind of how you remember it?
Yeah. That shit was funny, dude, because we were chilling. I mean, it was after the Pachingon, our first show here in LA. And it was... Because we were still like, ¿cómo se llama? Groggy from the night before and shit. You know? Yeah, so we were just enjoying the evening with the beers and stuff like that. Y llegas tú, güey, hey, you guys want to stay? It's going to be $10. Simón, güey, ya nos vamos. I was like, pinche vato hambriento.
You see, and it's la pinche culpa de my partner Rob. He just wanted to stay by the table. I'm the one ahí todo going to everybody's table. Hey, you want to stay or not?
Yeah.
And you know what? And I'm tripping out because some other shit happened there. So what we wanted to do is we got West Coast Pop Lock Podcast involved on that show también.
Yeah.
And what we wanted to do is we wanted to do a podcast at Border X with Las Calacas there. We figured, hey, they're coming down from Arizona. Let's leverage their time lo más posible porque ya sé que tan difícil es to be a band, to make the money out of it. And for them to make the trip from Arizona to California, we wanted to make sure that we can do as much as we can with them. So we did the podcast interview and it was live streamed. So after the interview was done, that's when I'm making my rounds. Before I got to your table, I went to this other table that was right behind where they were doing the podcast interview. Y ahí estaba una señora. Hey, were you guys recording? Yeah, we're doing a podcast here. This is who we are, todo el pedo and all that stuff. And she's all... So you guys had us, did you guys darken us out or anything like that? No. It was just a live stream. So our image was put out there without our permission.
Mames.
And I'm like, I guess. Y luego salió, I'm an attorney. Y todo el pedo, and I'm thinking, fuck, we're not making any money off my Grito. What the fuck you want from me? We just started.
Damn,
so she's giving me all this pedo, and she's like, you're still going to charge me $10? And at that point, I'm like, no, well, you guys can stay.
Shit, dude.
You guys can stay if you want. Like my bad. I didn't know about that, but the way she said it, in case you're listening to this interview, I didn't say your name, but I do understand the law now. Fuck you for being so mean to me.
Huevos, perra.
Anyways, so I'm going off of that, Chris, and then I go to your table shortly after that. No, pues ya estaba todo.
I know.
I was already kind of a little flustered.
Yeah.
Y luego I get some guy. Hey, do you know who I am? I'm Chris from Desmadre Medio. I was like, fool. Like I just finished talking to an attorney.
Get the fuck out of here.
Give me $10.
Yeah, nah, it was cool though. Like, yeah, I did notice you a little flustered, como que preocupado, güey. I didn't know why. But then I was like, I mean, it was like, no, we were already there for like the whole day, so we were gonna bounce. I'm like, and I understood. Like, it takes a lot to bring a band from fucking Arizona, from anywhere.
Simón.
And then have them here. Fucking, you have to host them. You have to fucking make sure they eat. Make sure they have a place to fucking sleep or whatever. Like all that shit needs to be covered, you know. And you brought equipment to the place. You brought. I don't know if you upgraded the sound or whatever.
We eventually did. Porque the first couple episodes were a little rough, and Border X was well aware of this because they wanted to start making a little bit of a venue to get more people to come down to the brewery. And the sound was shit. I think our worst experience that we had there, y Despensa, in case they ever listen to this interview. So B-side players out of San Diego. That, first of all,
dude, that night was crazy. That was where we met, actually.
That's where we met, and that's where this carnal came in. Like, not all heroes wear capes. This guy came out of nowhere, hooking us up with cables and all these things because the sound that day was garbage. So I don't know what they did, what event they had the day before. They fucked up the soundboard. They did all these things. it just sounded real bad, and we were very excited. It was probably B-Side Players was probably the first band that we paid what we paid for them to perform.
Órale, okay.
Followed with other bands that we needed to pay for, right? Without us guaranteeing that we're going to get our money back.
Yeah.
Chris, you've done a lot of shows yourself, so ya sabes, a veces así es la cosa.
Yeah.
You want to support bands, you want to do these events, you're hoping that you break even sometimes, is all you want. You would love to make some money, si es posible, but sometimes you're thinking, fuck, if you don't break even, ¿qué vas a hacer?
Yeah.
You know? So that one was a stressful one. And then for the sound to be garbage,
Yeah.
that was probably one of the most embarrassing shows that we did. Not that I'm trying to throw Border X under the bus on this one, because the sound after that improved drastically. They invested a lot of money on the sound afterwards.
Yeah.
But that's where we met Gil for the first time. He came down to see, I don't know if it was for the B-Side Players or a band that opened up for them, but that's where we first met in person.
Was Bad Hombres? They were there, right?
Yeah, Bad Hombres was there.
I just missed them when I got there, but I was able to hang out with Bernard and Fernie from Chicano Shuffle.
Yeah, hey, quick shout out to Bernard from Bad Hombres, Fernie from Chicano Shuffle.
That was...
So shout out to them. Pero ya, carnal, I mean, I think something that we share in common as promoters, and promoters that are only a couple years in. But to be a good promoter, it takes time. You got to do enough shows. You got to make enough contacts. You got to take enough L's before you start seeing the W's, no?
Yeah, for sure.
Tell me about your experiences throwing shows.
Órale, mira, so what happened? So during the pandemic, we went to a little bit after. I mean, todo empezó everything was around the same time that Desmadre Medio started, right?
Simón.
We went to Mexico City, like out of nowhere, just out of the blue, because cosas del destino, no? That we ended up out there. Two of my favorite bands out there are the Nalgas. It's a punk band. Shout out to the Nalgas. They're releasing new material, and then
¿Están grandes o pequeñas?
Tan peludas. Los de Nalgas y luego los Congelones, right?
Oh, that's a weird combination right there.
No, check this out. It was a trip, dude, because I met them in Mexico City and everything. We became really good friends with both bands. I get back to LA and they hit me up. This was in October of 2021. And they're like, hey, Chris, can you get us in touch with los Congelones? And it's like, all right, someone from fucking Mexico City, bro, calls me over here in LA to make moves for them out there in Mexico City.
Shit.
Like that, dude. I'm like, yeah, I'll hit them up right away, this and that. So I made a show happen. I sponsored the show unofficially, right? And then the same thing, same strategy. I took a bunch of merch and I gave it away. Everybody at the show was wearing that shirt that you're wearing. And it was Los Congelones de Nalgas. Yeah, it was them. So, and then that's how I broke ground over there in Mexico City.
Simón.
And then after Pachingon, I think, yeah, I was like, fuck it, I'm going to throw a show out there. And it was them as headliners. It was Congelones de Nalgas, a female punk band called Las Fucking Bitches. Who was Tres Toques, a skacore band, Rebellion for Life, Nasty Waves, and I think that's it. Yeah. I think, I had those. And then Don Diablo from Chincha Berrinches went over and played a set with Tres Toques. Like, because they cover some Chincha Berrinches songs. So he jumped on the drums, and yeah, it was dope. It was cool. But that show, man, like we were talking about W's and L's, and that was a big L for me, dude. That was, man, esa madre, ese show me sentó, güey. That shit like humbled me, like mentally, financially, dude. Fucking like in all aspects of the world, of the word, dude. Cause like I had hired a stage manager, right? Like, all right, dude, like take care of the sound system for me, and make sure everything goes good on stage and this and that, right? And then last minute, like a day or two before, hey, so what sound system you wanna rent?
No manches.
Like, what the fuck, dude? Like, I thought you were on top of this and that, right? So we ended up getting one. And the mama is like, we get a call. It's like we get a call and they're like, hey, we just had my truck's not working. I can't take the sound system, but I have another way to transport the system, right? It was a fucking motorcycle, bro, with a fucking little mini ass trailer, and everything was stacked up, dude. Sonido burro tumbado, güey. Y luego no mames, güey, que se le voltea y se le cae todo, güey.
¿Se quebró o no?
Everything fucking falls, dude. Like all the whole sound system fucking fell and everything, and then I keep getting messages like, oh, this is what's happening, this and that. I'm like, bro, we're supposed to be having sound check already. We're supposed to having everything. Oh, I was stressed the fuck out, dude. The whole night I was stressed the fuck out. Like I took two fucking luggages, the big ones of merch. Bien llenas, güey. Bien llenas de merch. I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna sell a bunch of merch because Desmadre Medio already has a name out there, this and that. I come back with 2 fucking luggages of merch, dude, and everything. And I'm like, fuck, dude. And then I mean, we did a little bit of pre-sale, but yeah, dude, I took a loss on that one, you know.
How was the attendance?
No me acuerdo. Bien poquitas, como unas.
It was raining, so it was only like
maybe
100 people. Yeah.
Throw in the rain on top of that.
Yeah, maybe like we're being generous if it's 100 people and shit. But we did everything good. We did everything right. We did. I got my band's radio interviews out there with two radio shows. I was promoting them out here like crazy, like doing the Instagram ads, but with the market out there, like to the Mexico City and surrounding areas, whatever. So people could show up. So I feel like I did a good job at it, you know? The flyer was fucking sick, dude. The lineup was fucking sick. But it just like, I guess the location was a little too far for everybody, even though we put it close to a subway station, because everybody travels through like subway and shit, right? But it was still a little bit of a ways out, like for people. So not a lot of people showed up, and that was a big L for me, dude. I was like, fuck, dude. So yeah, so from the sound and this and that, and then as soon as the band started playing, I mean, oh yeah. Not only that, but the person that I hired for manager, whatever, stage manager, they're like, yeah, I'll do sound for you, like I'll be on the board for you, you know, like that shit sounded fucking disgusting, dude. It was disgusting. It was like, oh yeah, it's a punk show. It's supposed to be like, nah, fuck you, man. Like, and then Los Cogelones come, right? And then they have their own engineer, sound engineer. It wasn't until that fool came over, took over, and he started like equalizing everything, mixing everything good, and it sounded like the 3 headlining bands. They sounded really great, but I was like, fuck it, dude. The show is going. There's nothing else I can do. I'm just gonna go relieve my stress in the fucking pit, dude. It was a punk show, skacore show. Like, fuck it, yeah. Ahí me los ahogué, güey. Puros putazos.
Puros putazos?
Puros putazos, güey.
Did you at least get a W there or another L?
No. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. And yeah, dude. Ahí me los ahogué, lo que sea. But yeah, that shit fucking humbled me.
Chris, where was this show at?
This one, Mexico City.
It was in Mexico City.
Yeah, Mexico City.
Oh my god.
Yeah, dude. So we gambled. We fucking like we're like, fuck it, let's do it. You know, mames. Yeah, I took my friends from out here. Shout out to Chava, Vane, La Cuata, my wife Ash. They were helping me out throughout the stuff, like selling merch and on being up front, selling like the entrance and shit like that. You know?
No, Simon.
Yeah.
Y de todo eso, Chris, what would you say was probably your biggest lesson that you learned from that event?
From that event, sound, dude. Sound's the most important, dude. Sound's the most important. Like people are paying money for them to enjoy a good show and shit, you know? So yeah, sound is it's a must, dude. It has to be a good investment no matter what and stuff. But yeah, I feel like everything else, I think that we did great. You know, I mean, maybe the location, but I mean, we did the promoting really well and shit, you know? So
no, Simon.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Well, that's a big one también por nosotros. Obviously, lo que pasó with B-side players, that was a little bit of a nightmare. It was a little bit of a nightmare because we had probably what was one of our biggest bands. And ya sabes, anytime that you get a big band, you're taking a big financial risk porque lo que cuesta to get them on the bill, no? And then when the sound is shit, and even one of their guitar players is trying to fuck around with with the mixer to
Yeah.
make them look good.
Yeah.
Ya están puro a cappella every now and then.
Yeah, like,
it was just
fuck.
so. Shout out to any sound technician out there. I know we have a couple that we've been working with over the years. One that's really good, Mario from West Coast Pop Lock Podcast. I know he's
Oh,
right
that's
now.
someone.
He's right now in Coachella.
Oh, no way.
So he does it every year. He gets hired to do the sound system for them. So if you know
Oh, shit.
if Coachella's hitting you up, you know something about sound.
Yeah, you're doing something good.
Yeah, so we've had the privilege of working with some good sound people, but a toda madre, you gotta have good sound quality. I agree with you. That was one of the lessons that we've learned, pero también a big lesson that we learn a veces the people that you partner up with, that you work with. I'm not here to throw any names on anybody under the bus, but it sounded like you guys also experience the same thing. Sometimes working with people that there were certain expectations on what you wanted to do for the event, y luego esos expectations were not met.
Yeah.
¿Te ha pasado eso, no?
Yeah. A couple of times. The show in Mexico at the Scami, our last show right here too.
Simón.
Like the sound wasn't up to par and shit, but it was it's a whole thing, you know? Like not having, like you said, not having the same expectations or not having the same vision type of stuff, or some people are just riding the wave, they're riding the high or whatever the fuck, you know, or just there for the clout, you know?
Simón.
Yeah.
Lo que yo he notado, Chris, I don't know if you agree with this. Lo que es difícil for brands like ours, Desmadre Medio, Grito Industries, we're a small independent brand, no? No, it's not like we're making a shitload of money every time we do something. When the revenue's not coming in like we want it to, we really need to rely on relationships. People que te están dando el paro to hook you up, to do the sound, to do this, to do that, porque no te está costando mucho. They're helping you out because they know that you're starting off, no? Pero when you're doing that, también you come across people that, si no les pagas muy bien, they don't take it as serious as you would want them to, at least the way they told you they were going to take it serious, no?
Yeah.
And that fucks with your brand, because when people that go to your events, they don't experience what you want them to experience. Anytime that they hear my Grito event, they're going to associate the sound wasn't good. Desmadre Medio, fuck, I don't know. It's hard because we're trying to figure this shit out, and we're trying to find the right people. And it's not like we can go out there and spend $800, $1,000 just for the sound guy alone. Eso es mucho. Lo que me ha caído muy pesado is people that have really dropped the ball on purpose. Le pagamos, and I'm not here to say names. Le pagamos dinero, and they still didn't deliver what we asked of them.
Damn, that sucks.
Y lo que está muy gacho is the conversation that Rob and I would have with them is, mira, all we want is what was promised to us. We're not asking you to do more, but just give us what we're wanting. Porque si no, here's the thing. Is this enough money for us to do legal actions? No. Are we going to do it? No. But I'll tell you what's going to happen. We're going to find ourselves in situations in front of some good people, some great contacts. And when those opportunities come up to us, guess who we're not going to mention?
Exactly.
We're not going to mention your name. So it's better that you stay in good standing with us, because when those opportunities come, do you think I'm going to mention your name when you did us dirty? No. Ya se acabó the relationship. No more fucking doing anything with you no more.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but we're going to do something with this brand. We're going to grow with this brand. So esa es la cosa. Y si es tu palabra that you're going to do something, do your best to at least meet that expectation. Si algo pasa personalmente con la familia o esto cuanto, understand that your word is still something. And if you can't physically be there, you got to figure it out and find somebody else to be there to represents you, to make sure the job gets done.
Yeah, exactly.
Because people like us, we're relying on you guys to do your shit. Y si no, the whole event could go to shit, you know?
Simón, sí. Yeah, like you said, like there's a lot of people that burn bridges, you know? And for what? It's like, and I keep saying, like, it's I guess small-minded people, or people that don't have that vision, or don't have high enough standards, you could say, you know?
No, Simón.
Sí.
No, pues, let's go back to the music, bro, porque I love everything that you've been doing, Chris, with promoting a lot of different bands, the underground bands. I know you've been doing a lot of interviews. What are some of your most favorite interviews that you've done? With what bands, if you don't mind?
Shit, dude. I don't know. It's been quite a bit of them. I really like the one out in San Francisco. Like we were in Oakland. Like my wife and I, we went to Oakland, and she had a hair appointment out there, so we went all the way out there, and then we went to go see the band Hemorrhage.
Okay.
The band that they travel in a bus, and they post up in front of shows, like whatever concert is happening, whatever big concert is happening, they go to the front of the entrance of the venue, and they start fucking playing, dude. They open up all the windows and the doors of the bus. It's like a mini bus, and then they start fucking going ham, dude. Yeah, they start going ham, and I was following them for a little while already, and I saw them. I'm like, fuck yeah, dude, this and that. And I had a little mic, dude. I hadn't even gotten my mics with the mic banner or anything. So I'm like, yo, can I interview you guys? And like, yeah. And usually my interviews are in Spanish, but this one, I mean, because I think they're Filipino, and then one's a white dude, the white dude, and then two Filipinos, I think. Yeah. It had to be in English. So I mean, that was pretty cool. It was a dope experience because it was out of nowhere and stuff, you know. And then I also liked in Oakland, Sergeant Papers. That was pretty dope. They're funny ass dudes. They're from Sonora, I think.
Orale.
Yeah, they're like an indie punk band from Sonora. They're two brothers, and they tour the here in the States and stuff. So we did an interview with them, and it was cool. What else? No sé, güey. Son un chingo. And then I've gone to rehearsals, and I've done the interviews. ¿Con quién más, güey? No me acuerdo.
No, está bien. But one that I'm really impressed with, it became a little bit more of a partnership con Don Diablo.
Oh, Simón, el Don Diablo.
Tell me, how did that happen?
It was because of our first show, El Pachingón show. The guy that was managing the Black and Gold bar. He's like, hey, he's really good friends with Don Diablo, right? Alex Cruz. He's like, hey, go to the show Don Diablo and promote it over there. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, yeah, it's a podcast or whatever. It streams every Sunday. I was like, all right. And then I hit up Don Diablo right away. And then they had me as a guest, but I showed up fucking late, dude. 15 minutes left before because of a fucking traffic and everything. And right before, I went to go print out posters to give it to him, this and that. But then we started, like, I went to the show. It felt natural. It was cool. You've seen the show, right? Like,
Simón.
The setup is super sick. It's super dope. Like it feels like you're in a like this, like in a podcast studio and stuff, right? So it's dope. And then we started like talking and stuff, and then we built this like dope relationship. And then ever since then, like I started helping them with bringing bands over there, like to interview, or connecting them with bands from Mexico too, so they could do like Zoom interviews and stuff. So it's been really cool. It's been really cool. Like I've been a guest on his show, or sometimes I'm even co-host with him too. So
Hell yeah.
it's been dope. It's been a great relationship. And hopefully you get to have him here, sitting down, talking to him.
Oh, fuck yeah. He's on my list of people that I wanted to interview.
Yeah.
Pero también, I know that you threw a date at me for Rob and I to go down there.
Yeah.
I couldn't go just because of something else that we had coming up.
Uh-huh.
But ojalá que también I can go down there because I would love to be on that platform. And his show comes out every Sunday, no?
Every Sunday, yeah, from 12 to 2. Uh-huh. And then afterwards, hace una carne asada y todo el pedo.
Ah, shit. Pues también traigo la carne asada.
Depending how special you are.
Me va a dar puro pinche pollo or puro fat or something.
So sometimes all we grill is chicken because está más barato, güey.
No, pues sí, ahorita con que $14-15 a pound para la asada. No mames.
Sí, está cariñoso, güey. Nah, but it's been dope. It's been a dope ride because of Don Diablo. El show de Don Diablo. He opened up. He evolved it to Diablo Vision, which opened up to it became like a multimedia platform as well. And he opened the doors for other shows too, right? So he has I think a radio show or like another stream, Mi Vecindad from here, and then he has a bunch from Mexico City, right? That streamed through his Facebook page. And, yeah. We were doing it for a little bit too, but because we play like music too and stuff like that, it's Metal takes it down. So like fuck, we kind of stopped. And then we were pre-recording our episodes, my wife and I, And it was dope. It would get a lot of views and stuff, but it takes a lot of work to not only record, but to edit and then to wait for it to load up and stuff. So like, fuck, okay. We kind of had to like pull back from that, but it's been great. Shout out to Don Diablo because he's been doing it for a while now. Him and his team, Saraí y El Chupes, his co-host El Chupes, yeah. So,
and that's his wife, no?
Saraí, yes.
Saraí. También what was her nickname? La Muda?
La Muda, ándale, La Muda, yeah, Simón.
No, Simón. I've been enjoying that show. I try and check it out on Sundays cuando se puede.
Yeah.
And I make my little comments, todo el pedo, pero I know Don Diablo, so that show's available on Facebook, on Twitch.
No, just YouTube and Facebook.
Okay, YouTube and Facebook.
Uh-huh.
Pero también you were talking about your show. And the one thing, Chris, because you're le caíces aquí to do the show, I want to make sure that the listeners really understand everything that you do for Desmadre Medio. Because not only are you a brand, not only are you out there promoting the underground, not only are you doing events, and you're doing your best to throw some good events because you your wife Ash, you guys been to a lot of fucking shows. Mm-hmm. So you know the importance of, first of all, getting out of the house.
Yeah.
And going down to check out some bands, especially some local bands, which is something that we should be supporting more, local talent. And that was really the basis of my Grito, to support local talent. But it's hard to do a show. Mm-hmm. So the listeners, if they follow Desmadre Medio on Instagram, they can check you out. Pero también, you have your own show on Tuesdays. Mm-hmm. And that's on Twitch.
On Wednesdays.
On Wednesdays.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Okay, so retracting a little bit. So because of the Don Diablo show, I got my experience like speaking like to the mics and this and that, right? Being on camera. And then when we went to up to Oakland, when I did the interview with Hemorrhage and Sergeant Papers, I met Olive Black, who is a radio DJ for Psych Radio. And then she put in a good word for me at Psych Radio. And that fool fucking was like, yeah, you want to start? When can you start? Can you start now? It was like, can you start next week? I was like, fuck, dude, all right. I had no experience whatsoever. Like, not even with my mixer or anything, dude, because I had bought an equipment during the pandemic because me and my friends were going to do a podcast, but it never happened, right? Mm-hmm. So my equipment stayed there for a couple of years in the closet. And then... fucking Psych Radio was like, okay, start next week or whatever. I fucking recorded my shit and then it will play on the air. And I will play nothing but local bands that have been my homies, fucking here in LA, Mexico City, or if anybody else would recommend it to me, right? Like nothing but supporting the underground scene. And then I started touring with Los Cogelones. I wasn't available for Psych Radio anymore. So, but I still wanted to do it, right? So I went on Twitch. I went independent. Started doing things on my own. And then it's more flexible because I do it live. I take in requests like through the chat or the phone call. I open up the line and people call in and stuff like that. It's cool when I'm doing giveaways that people try to win stuff and stuff. So it's been great.
I got to tell you, Chris, I try to be on that show as much as I can, porque el pinche vibe que das.
Oh, thanks, man.
You should have a show on radio again, porque you have such a, como de persona como eres, you have a great vibe. I enjoy watching you on there. I enjoy how you treat other people. The people that are chatting on there, that are putting messages, that are making requests, that are calling in, un pinche vibe that you give, and it makes us as listeners, as fans, really, first of all, appreciate you for saying our names on the show, pero también just feel better about ourselves because, fuck, every day, cada quien tiene su pinche desmadre that they're dealing with and their stress y todo el pedo, but to be able to get away with, probably for me, one of the most therapeutic things out there, music, and to see it on a show, and for vamos a decir, the DJ to be out there throwing good vibes and fucking saying my name, forget about it.
Damn, that's dope.
So I really appreciate what you do with the show, pero también, bro, because for a long time, I was listening to a lot of mainstream, like everybody else at some point, until you kind of go down that hole and you start looking at more more of the underground scene, more of other local bands, and you start appreciating other bands, which is kind of the premise of My Grito. We wanted to support the local scene. Pero I've been introduced to new bands from your show.
Oh, no
Que
way.
me gustó un chingo, bro.
Oh,
And I started
sick.
following them on Instagram, sending them messages, hey, I like your rola, stuff like that, because what you're doing on there, it's addicting.
Órale.
Me lo estás pasando a mí to want to give the same love.
Sick. Chingón, güey. Gracias, loco. Gracias. It means a lot. That's dope, dude.
No, pues a huevo.
Yeah. Está chingón. Yeah, man. It's a fucking roller coaster, bro. Like, I love doing it, and like I ride the highs and lows. Like, for example, like there's times where I'm like, fuck, dude. Like, should I throw in the towel or what the fuck? You know, like, ya no quiero hacerlo. Or me agüito, you know. And then, but then I jump on online. I start streaming and stuff. But the love I receive from the people listening, you know, like it keeps me going, dude. It keeps me going. So it's a mutual thing. It's a mutual, yeah, it's a mutual thing, dude. Y está chingón, güey, porque se siente bien chido. Se siente el amor. Se siente, como la gente escucha. Like, it's dope, dude. I love it, but I tend to forget. You know, life happens. You know, life is happening, and I tend to forget. And I'm like, fuck, dude. Simón, está chido.
No, pues está muy chido everything that you're doing for the scene. Just arrived on the My Grito network over here. Paranoias are in the background. Y Profesor Galáctico, what's up, guys? We'll be interviewing you later.
Los paranoicos.
Y trajeron chelas para que no dicen que no. So, no, Chris, me gusta un chingo everything that you're doing for the underground scene, specifically for ska. He de preguntarte, because your brand, Desmadre y Medio, is, like I said during the intro, it's a brand that's founded on love, because you're showing your love for the underground, you're showing your love to bands. Do you want to take this opportunity to mention any bands que te gustan un chingo that you really like?
Well, I have, yeah, dude. I mean, I have them tatted, bro. The bands that really made a difference to me, like, for example, I was going through some dark times, and then like what got me into like reintroduced me to the LA ska scene was La Pobresca. I have it right here.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, La Pobresca. And then Matamosca I have right here. I have Los Cogelones. I have the Nalgas down here. I have Ocho Calacas, Chencha Barrinches. Tengo casi todos los que están por acá.
Fuck, your arm's a flyer, bro.
Yeah, my arm's a fucking flyer, bro. Simón.
I love that you said La Pobresca first, because Las Cruces de Tijuana.
Oh, yeah, dude, that
¿Por
song.
qué me pongo muy chillón, bro? Why do I love that song so much?
Yeah.
Está un poco emo, pero me gusta un chingo.
Yeah, no, it's a badass fucking song, dude.
Simón.
Esos vatos se rifaron con esa rola. And it was that song, dude.
Simón.
It
was that song?
It was that song that I was looking, because, I mean, like how you mentioned right now, like, everybody listened to mainstream. I was listening
Simón.
to fucking Panteón Rococó radio on Pandora. And then they played Café con Tequila, and they played La Pobresca. And then Las Cruces de Tijuana, güey. I'm from TJ. I grew up in TJ. And so I resonated with that song, you know?
Simón.
And yeah, dude. Then from there, I started looking for them. And, oh, shit, what the fuck? I looked for them. I found them. They played with Ocho Calacas. I was like, what the fuck? I was going through a lot of shows. When was it? At the Levitt, right there in MacArthur Park.
Simón.
Yeah, it was dope. But before that, it was Viernes 13, güey. Viernes 13 was the one that, when I was younger, when I was a kid, that kept me going right there, like, to the ska.
I think for the longest time, para mí, también era Viernes 13. It almost seems like maybe that's for a lot of people kind of their one band years ago, que you just were more introduced to the underground, like, ska scene. Y me gusta un chingo. Like, you can go through their catalog y te pierdes, pero como dijiste, if you do Viernes 13 radio, that's when you meet a lot of the bands that you have tatted there. That's where you meet bands like the Paranoias who are here, Profesor Galáctico. I mean, that's how I fell in love with these guys, and that's how Rob and I were out there to court them for a long fucking time, which we'll talk about later. It took us a while to get them on the label.
Damn,
Pero sí, bro. I mean, I think what you're doing as a brand, to show love to the underground scene, to show love specifically to the ska scene, me gusta un chingo, bro.
Gracias.
Una de las cosas that I wanted to do, and I wanted to do a couple announcements here. The first one, since we're talking about bands, we've been fortunate enough as My Grito to do these charity compilations.
Órale.
The charity compilation se llama Más Alto. So we've done 5. And every time we choose a different charity, and 100% of the proceeds go to the charity.
Órale.
We're getting ready to do our 6th one, Más Alto number 6.
Okay.
Rob did a badass job on the graphics. We're out there starting to court different bands to see who wants to be a part of it. We can definitely use your help in reaching out to bands that would want to be a part of this compilation. And just to share with you, the charity that we decided, they're a charity that does a lot in Skid Row in Los Angeles. Ayudan every Sunday. They go in and feed a lot of the people that are there. And a lot of people that are homeless that are there. I mean, they're heavily involved in drugs, mental health, y todo el pedo. But they do that, and something that really connected with me, especially because perdí mi perrito last year.
That's right.
And it's been the dog that I've had the longest time. And even when I went to Playa del Carmen a couple weeks ago, out of all the things that we could have been doing, we went to go volunteer at a dog rescue.
No way.
Because my family and I mean, it's something about we're still trying to process the loss of our dog. Mm-hmm. So Rob was very gracious enough for me to choose a charity that what they do is they help rescue dogs that are in Skid Row where the owners cannot take care of them because, again, either drug usage, mental illness. And what they do is they try and find somewhere where they can either somewhere that can adopt the dog or take him to other pounds that can help him out with health, y todo el pedo. So they do a lot of good stuff with pets, not only with people, but also with dogs. So that meant a lot to me. So we decided for Más Alto number 6 that we're going to choose this charity.
Nice.
100% of the money is going to go to them so they can do what they do. As a matter of fact, we're also going to ask a lot of the bands and other people that are on the label, like the podcast, like Gil, if they want to volunteer on a specific date that we want to go out there to Skid Row, we can not only help out with the dogs, but also help feed a lot of the people that are there. Mm-hmm. So we'll be doing that soon. We're going to be making the announcement. Pero carnal, I want your help.
Yeah, Simón, güey.
Porque mira, let me name off some of the ska bands that were part of Más Alto 1 through 5. Because esas bandas están chingonas, bro.
The Paranoias.
The Paranoias. They're on there. And Profesor Galáctico's on there.
Yeah.
But we also have Los Escaladeros, La Muerte, nice. Rundown Creeps, who are part of the label. Buena Suerte, Florencia Andrada. She has a rola that's really badass. She's also part of the label. Put on the Batteries. I know they work also very closely with the Paranoias and Profesor Galáctico. Eastside Agents, como dije, B-side Players. Mm-hmm. They've been there to help us out, and so many other bands. And it's not just ska. Más Alto, it's about the love that us as Latinos have for music. So you can have soul, you can have rock, you can have all these different genres. That's what we look for this charity compilation. We house the compilation on Bandcamp. Y como te digo, anybody that listens to the compilation that we put together, they can donate very easily on Bandcamp. And when we're done with the promo, all the money goes to the charity.
Nice.
So, bro, I can use your help.
Yeah, Simón.
Any bands, because I know a lot of bands fucking love and respect you for what you do for the scene.
Gracias.
Pregúntales, anybody that wants to help us out and do something with us, we would love that.
Simón.
And I think this time, because it's a dog rescue, we're almost down with any song.
Órale, okay.
Let me tell you why. And they're going to be on the podcast at some point. So somebody that I know that you've talked to, somebody that I know that has worked with Nico, Profesor Galáctico, Undisputed Champions.
Órale, okay.
Good fucking homies. Y me gusta un chingo también because they have the lucha mask y todo el pedo.
Simón.
But on volume 5 of Más Alto, the charity that we chose, it was an orphanage in Mexico. Porque también a long time ago, I lost a very good friend. He passed away in a motorcycle accident and he was an orphan. So that was always something that was very dear to me. And every year when I would go with my buddies that I grew up with to Mexico, we would stop by an orphanage and I would make a donation. Porque cuando me va bien a mí, gracias a Dios, I want to give back. And I know the orphanage meant something to me.
Yeah.
So as Rob and I were reaching out to all these bands, like, hey, if you have any new songs that we can promote, we're not making any money off of it. It's just to promote, to give money to this charity. So Undisputed, we hit them up and they gave us one of their latest singles that came out maybe a couple months ago. Good jam, but it was talking a lot about cogiendo y este cuanto. And they had some fine ass jaina. Sorry to the wifey. I don't mean it like that. No disrespect on the music video. Check it out.
Ya sé cuál es.
But cuando me mandaron la canción, Rob and I are listening to it. We're like, fuck, I don't think the orphans are going to approve this song.
Se pasan de verga esos güeyes.
Pero para los perritos, I don't think they mind.
Yeah.
Any song, the song could be about anything. We'll throw it on the compilation and we'll have a real good time con it.
Órale, okay.
¿A huevo?
I mean, well, we have this Desmadre Medio official song, so we can throw that
Oh,
in.
fuck, throw that one in. Ahí está.
Damn,
Hell yeah.
Simón.
So,
Esa rola, I'm sorry, just to give a shout out, the spotlight, it was composed by Tony the Broke, who was a vocalist from Tres Toques, Ska-core in Mexico City. And then we got Manny Come Planta, vocalista de La Muerte y La Pobrezca, to be a part of it, to be a guest of the song, to be featured in the song. And then the horns were made by Inocentes Ska-core out in Mexico. ¿Y qué más? Pues sí, los Tres Toques, you know? So, yeah, dude, that's why I'm like, oh, yeah, the Desmadre Medio official song. Pero Simón, pero sí, carnal, si quieres si quieres que te ayude ahí también con los perritos o lo que sea, I'll show up on a Sunday, bro. You know, I'll recruit some people too and shit so we could show up. You know, we'll rock fucking my Grito merch and Desmadre Medio merch para que se mire, güey, la clica. Eso
mero. Pues me gusta un chingo, bro. And since you said la clica, I would like to make another announcement.
A ver.
So you, myself, and Rob, we've been talking about this for a while. We wanted to make sure that the timing made sense. Mm-hmm. We've been seeing a lot of the things that you've been doing, and we love what Desmadre Medio is about. Like I said, it's a brand about love and helping out the underground ska scene and other things. Anything that's underground, mm-hmm. you support it. So we came to a decision, carnal, for us to join forces, no?
Simón.
So we will be announcing shortly. This is a fucking world premiere.
Yeah. 13 seconds.
There goes my sound effects, bro. There goes my sound effect. So Desmadre Medio will now be part of My Grito.
Yeah.
And this is going to be a great opportunity for us to work together. And I know one of the things that I really needed your help with, like I said, with one of the bands that Los Discordes that are part of My Grito, they're out of Mexico también, Mexico City.
Órale.
And Dante, the lead singer, he works for a PR company there, Penny Management.
Okay.
So what we've been working on is having a My Grito event in Mexico City. And with PR already there, whatever bands we're able to take there, Paranoia being one of them.
Yeah.
We want to make sure that it's a full fucking like couple days, a week, a puro Desmadre Medio.
Ah, well.
Radio interviews, podcast interviews, television, and shows.
Yeah.
What was missing to make sure that Rob and I, para que no los perdíamos todo el dinero, which we talked about earlier in the interview, we need to make sure that we have somebody that also understands the land.
Órale.
That's where you come in, carnal.
Ah, huevo.
That's an opportunity for My Grito and Desmadre Medio presents. And we'll do an event in Mexico City. Followed by that, we're going to go fucking check out some lucha libre. Because, bro, you know I'm all about that.
Yeah.
La pinche lucha.
Yeah, I saw the fucking pictures, dude. That shit was dope.
¿Es verdad?
Over there. ¿Dónde era? ¿En Tulum? No. ¿En Cancún?
Era en Cancún, Playa del Carmen.
Carmen.
Fuimos a la isla because there's some lucha libre there. And a lot of people didn't even know. Fuck, the taxi drivers didn't even know that their island had lucha libre there.
Wow.
So they need a little bit more help to get to be aware of it. Pero ya sabe la esposa, bro, how much of a nerd I am con pinche lucha libre. I mean, you see how this place is. Me gusta un chingo. A lot of it because of my abuelito, because of my family. We love it. Uh-huh. So Rob and I also early on with the label, we had an opportunity to work with Vampiro.
No way.
So he's over there doing his thing. We've done a lot of things with him. So when we go over there, we're also going to be spending some time with Vampiro.
Hell yeah.
Going to Orina, Mexico, some lucha libre, get fucked up, smoke out, lo que sea, ya sabes. Va a ser Desmadre Medio.
Ah, huevo, hell yeah, dude. It sounds fun. I'm looking forward to it, dude. I'm looking forward to working with you guys. Yeah, dude. I think it's about time that that Desmadre Medio takes a direction, like a direction where like a being part of a group like My Grito Industries, you know, which I mean I like what you guys do. You guys like we have a lot of the same values, dude, and I think that's what we're gonna be able to work together well and stuff. And then I like how you guys have everything structured. You know, there's a lot of organization and it's a lot of structure, and I like it, dude. It's more professional. It gives people a sense of direction. And I think that's what I was looking for. And I think, yeah, this is going to be good. Yeah, man.
I
I'm
know it's
excited.
going to be good. A lot of the things that we learned, a lot of it I attribute to Rob because of him running Wiretap Records for so many years.
Damn.
And then you take a look at the jale that both him and I have,
Mm-hmm.
it requires that type of structure. Because cuando todos estamos corriendo like chickens without our heads off, sometimes shit doesn't get done.
Mm-hmm.
Or sometimes we have a good time, but we oversee the importance of what we were trying to do at a certain event, whatever the main goals are. So a lot of times we need to do our little check-ins with each other pa saber, hey, what do we want to happen out of this show? What's the most important thing? And let's make sure that shit gets done above everything else. So that's what we're going to bring contigo. We're not also, as paranoids will probably tell you, we're not also dicks in the sense like, you have to do it, you have to do it. We want to work with you. We want to give guidance. Y lo que se puede, se puede. Pero the more that we communicate, lo más que pudimos hacer, lo más desmadre. ¿Cómo dices your motto?
¿Cómo decirlo? Unidos nos esforzamos y que siga el pinche desmadre y medio.
Eso, mero. On that note, bro, te voy a dar, let's wrap it up. I'm going to give you the 3 questions that I ask everybody that we interview.
Okay.
Okay?
I'm not signing up to your multi-level marketing.
You don't want to sell insurance? Órale, aquí te va. So, la primera pregunta, escoge between one of these. You don't have to answer all 3 of them.
Okay.
Just pick one. Tell me about either your favorite movie, your favorite book, or an app on your phone que te gusta un chingo.
All right. I guess my favorite movie from when I was a kid, it was La Bamba. La Bamba.
Richie.
Yeah.
¿Por qué?
You know what? Because of the music, dude. It was somebody that represented us.
Simón.
Someone that we looked up to. Like, oh, Richie Valenzuela, Richie Valens, and this and that. From San Fernando. Y pues, from when I was a little kid, I saw the movie. I think it was like 2 years old, and they threw me a birthday party, and I had una piñata de guitarra, you know. And then,
What, did it have wings?
No.
No flying guitar?
Yeah.
Nah, then it wasn't La Bamba.
I was 2 years old, bro. With immigrant parents, bro. No sabía, güey. Nomás, but yeah, they got me that shit. But it's a movie that always touches, like especially when the fucking Rob screams Richie, no mames, me parte el
Pinche
corazón,
Bob.
you know?
No, me parte la alma.
Me parte la alma, güey. But yeah, it's something though because, like I said, someone representing us in a land that you could say was stolen from us and shit, you know.
Simón, eso mero.
Y pues Simón, he went against the grain, and he made history.
Simón.
You know?
He did and died at a young age.
Very young age.
Bro, it was because of that movie. I agree with you. I love that movie.
Mm-hmm.
But because of that movie, tanto miedo que tengo about flying for the longest time.
Oh, serio?
Yeah.
Damn.
And no, my parents never sent me to a fucking witch doctor para agarrar mi necklace or nada de eso. No, they didn't love me that much.
They didn't love me that.
Pero no, I had fear of flying. Y todo el tiempo when I would fly for a while, I would have to go to the bar and get a beer and a shot para que se me calma un poquito.
El ritual.
Yeah, now, gracias a Dios, there's edibles and you can just pop one in and fucking take it easy and fly.
See you later,
See you-
crocodile.
Wake me up when we land.
Simón.
No,
Yeah.
so I love that movie.
Yeah, that's from when I was a kid. That was my favorite movie. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, ahora the second question. And this kind of good transition con La Bamba porque, pues, ya sabes, Richie, Buddy Holly, Big Bopper se murieron. We're all going to die. Va a pasar. Do you have a death playlist?
I have a song. It's called Voy a Volar de los Jaguares. And when I was a teenager, I would listen to it. You know, like when you're a teenager, you go through your dark moments and you fucking... Like,
Teenager, my whole life, bro.
well, in your head, right? Like,
Simón.
like you get stuck in your dark corner and stuff like that. And I would listen to a song. I'm like, when I die, I want that song to play. It's called Voy a Volar and stuff like that, you know?
Hell yeah.
It's dope. It's cool. It talks about how he's gonna disintegrate, like las células van a flotar y que no sé qué tanto, yeah? Que nos vemos en el más allá and all that shit. So it's cool. It's a dope song. I heard it. I heard them play it live one time at the Gibson Amphitheater. Then that was the only time that I heard them play it. But yeah, but not a playlist. I don't have a playlist. But I mean, touching back to the Desmadre Medio song, I mean, it's
That'll be another rola to throw on there.
Yeah, it's there, dude. Like, who would have thought, dude? Like 2 years ago, I was fucking like scrolling on my phone, and then fast forward now, like I have an official song. You know what I mean?
Simon.
And it's dope, dude. It's a great accomplishment. I'm not on stage and playing music like everybody here and stuff like that. So, I feel like it's a big accomplishment to have my own song. And stuff.
It's something that you should be proud of. With you and Ash doing this as a team, something that you both should be very proud of. Porque lo que estás haciendo, it's unselfish. It's for somebody else. Y ya sabes, sometimes we take L's and we don't make any money off of it, but we're doing it for the love of the music. We're doing it for the love of the underground. Y por eso, bro, and I heard you on a different interview con Mindbuzz with Gil's episode.
Órale, Simón.
When you talked about, and I love it, I don't remember if it was Gil or Amber that asked this question, which happens to be the most important question that I ask, the very final question that I asked on this interview.
Was it a good question?
Hey, Gil, you're here.
Yeah,
There he is.
Was it a good question?
It was a real good question.
Okay, then it must have been Amber.
Then it was Amber.
I thought you were gonna say it was you, fool.
Pero Chris, cuando todo se acaba, cuando last songs played y todo el pedo, ya no estás aquí physically. How do you hope that you personally will be remembered when they bring up your name and they say, no, ese vato era...
Ese vato era un pinche loco chingón. That, like, I want to be remembered a person with a lot of love, dude. A lot of love, like a lot of positive energy, and that, yeah, dude. Always with that infectious fucking dope energy, dude. You know, something así que no era envidioso, güey, que a todos les abríamos las puertas, you know, que a todos les abría las puertas. Y Simón, siempre riéndome, güey. And always having a good time, making the best of my surroundings, I guess, like with the people that surrounded me. You know?
Eso mero. Me gusta mucho, güey.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Pues, for our listeners, where can they find you if they want to take a look at the projects that you're working on? Where can they go? 19425 Soledad Canyon Road. Ay, güey.
They can go to desmadre.y.medio on Instagram, and then Desmadre Medio on Twitch. I try to go live every Wednesday mornings, and that's where I play a lot of like the local underground music. And then where else? On TikTok too. Yeah, desmadre.y.medio. Yeah, and then if they want to buy merch, they could send me a message. Direct message through Instagram, or they could go to www.desmadremedio.com.
Eso mero. And like the shirt that I'm wearing, this is one of the shirts, Desmadre Medio, you can pick up from the website. So make sure, whether you're going to an event that is being done, promoted by Desmadre Medio or Desmadre Medio and My Grito, that's one way to support us. Not only us, but also the bands that are part of the venue. But also, you can support him now by going to his website and buying some merch from him. He has shirts, he has hoodies, bottle openers, creo, hats, beanies, un chingo de cosas. And that's the best way to support what he does. And that's something that we encourage you guys to do, because it's not easy to do what we do. No different than us being promoters, also the bands trying to put out their music for all of you to listen to, enjoy. It's just a simple way that you can go out and help us out. With that, like I end every episode, I always try and give some type of financial advice, since that is my background. What I learned from this one, Chris, and I've shared this advice before, so hopefully people, if they've listened to the previous episode, they understand the importance of this. And I believe this is the advice that I gave with Angie from the McCharmleys, because she quit her job to do music full time. Us, I think we're in a similar position where you're doing this full time, you're making something come out of this. You're making investments into different shows, and sometimes you take an L. The best way that we can protect ourselves, if you're looking to do anything in this industry, not only in this industry, but anything in life, one of the best ways that you can protect yourself, and it's not always easy, it's by putting money away. Putting the simplest thing that you can do, $5, $10, $20, whatever you get from your paycheck, and it takes discipline. It's not easy. You got to put some money aside, so when those opportunities come up, you're ready to invest in yourself. When an emergency comes up, and those emergencies are going to come up, you're better protected to be able to help yourself. There's a lot of different things that you can do. It's not just them putting money away from your paycheck, but also your 401k. If you happen to be working with an employer and your employer offers you a 401k, I strongly encourage you to do it. I can't tell you how many young people that I've talked to that their employer does offer one, but no le ponen. And before you know it, they're in their 30s, they're in their 40s, and they don't have that much put away for retirement. That puts them in a bad spot. And I got to tell you, with the biggest fear that most people have, especially Americans, is running out of money at some point. If you want to protect yourself, first of all, put money aside at your pad in case of an emergency, in case of an opportunity to promote, to do an event, but also invest in yourself, put money away in a retirement plan. And if you have questions, I'll be more than happy to help you out with that. With that, I want to thank Chris from Desmadre Medio for being not only on this episode, but also for being part of My Grito Industries. We'll be making that announcement soon.
Oh, well.
Y también for Gil, thank you for doing this as always with me.
Yeah.
I appreciate you. My name is Oscar, and this is My Grito. Fun, fun, fun.
Del norte a sur hacemos lo que sea. Represento la raza que nunca flaquea. Entres con el desmadre.